Welcome. Hello, everybody who's
What's
out
up, everybody?
there. Anybody out there writing a script, making a movie, listening to us on the toilet? Here we are, TowerCast podcast, the towering podcast for the towering filmmakers of El Paso and the world. How's it going, you guys? I'm deaf in one ear today, so if I'm being weird, that's why I'm directing my ear to y'all. But how's it going, guys? My name is Juan Paul Flores, once again, hosting this beautiful podcast. The host with a co-host of the co-host. How's it going, man? How you doing?
How you doing, guys?
How you doing?
I'm John Erik. I'm doing pretty good. We have an interesting episode today.
We have some new faces to the podcast. I don't think. Well, you were in the first episode.
Yeah, I was here.
And now you're sitting in the chair where like important people sit. So I'm wondering what you're here for.
I'm here for Rooster's Beak, written and directed by this guy.
Hey, and the hair.
Start things off.
And the hair.
We gotta introduce Carlos, the man behind everything.
Of course.
It's brought to you for TowerCast. We got Myka de la O keeping us checked.
Keeping us Dr. Dre-ish.
Yes, and then the triple threat co-host Austin Young. He's on the phone.
Hey, Austin, pay attention.
Dr. de la O.
Dr. de la O.
Keeping us crisp.
I like that.
And say what's up, Austin.
What's up?
Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry, just taking care of social media over here.
Yeah, he's taking care of social media.
He's working.
Business guy.
Yo. So all right. So who's in the room right now? I wanna know from. What is this? My right to the left?
Introducing the Rooster's Beak cast. The first guy, the main guy.
My name is Myka Puentes. I was one of the characters in Rooster's Beak.
He's the lead character in the movie. He's just only the lead character in the movie.
And then the man himself, Brandon.
This guy was the lead because this guy had a badass
Mr. Sunglasses over here.
I'm such a nice guy, though.
You're pretty evil in this one, though.
I know. I feel evil.
Just introduce yourself to everybody,
which
man.
camera do I look like? Hi, I'm Brandon. Brandon Lee Camarena. I played Jay in Rooster's Beak. It was awesome.
The crazy guy with the sunglasses.
Yeah, and a shotgun.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
And then we got Erik Sanchez, the director, the writer.
Yo.
The monster of monsters. Yeah, so I don't know. You know what's funny? I was like, I was
talking about that movie. yeah.
Doing that, but I was scanning the room and I was like, it's like every time we do these podcasts, like everyone's in the movie because you're in the movie too,
dude. And this one I also get shot, just like in the last one.
Right?
So I want to get into that with Erik right now, but yes, I'm part of TowerCast. So
fucking John Castro guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. So what's up?
Yeah, let's start asking Erik. What was the whole thing behind this whole thing?
What was behind all this?
Yeah.
I think at this point, episode 5, people know what we're listening to. People know how the show
Yeah,
goes,
but Rooster's Beak, man. What was the inspiration behind
that? All right. I had the story, like, how long ago was that? For 2015? That's when I first had the story, like, the concept. I went to a restaurant with some friends. We were eating just tacos.
Right.
And then, I don't know why the whole day, it was like a whole... Essentially what happened in the movie, that happened to me that day, but
get out of here, for real?
Yeah, I mean, take out like the killing and the fiction part of the movie, but everything was pretty accurate.
So that's where it came from.
He woke up in the morning and he went to go pick up his guns. And
right, listening to some CD.
No, but yeah, I thought it was a pretty interesting concept. I mean, I wanted to do like a crime horror type thing, like a thriller.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I've had it cooked, but I didn't start really putting it on paper until that year that we shot Rooster's Beak, which was...
And how did these guys come about?
The casting was a nightmare.
Really?
Did you already know these guys before? Or?
No. I mean, I knew Brandon before because of the snowball effect,
Yeah.
And then I was trying to... I got like, auditions for the roles and everything.
Right.
And then I think Jay, I already had him in mind for Jay. I was like, no, get this guy. We're like chasing after him
just
the whole day.
Sunglasses and we're good.
Yeah. It was interesting with Brandon because Brandon sent us a headshot.
Yeah.
And it was him in like this Floridian
he was like 10 years
tropical
old.
button-up shirt, and we're like, this guy's a character.
Very California look.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
very pretty boy, Hollywood actor type of. Had the long hair.
Did he have the sunglasses?
He did have the sunglasses in the picture. I think you do. Yeah.
He did.
That's your style, though.
I think I know exactly what shirt I was wearing too.
No, real quick. The hustlers in this room, man. Myka, you were. I met you in Assumed. You were an extra in Assumed, weren't you? You were in Assumed.
Oh, he had a role.
You had a role in Assumed.
Yeah, I was.
You were there. That's why I met you. But I know you also act in other stuff as well, right?
Yeah, I have. with Arturo Portillo and Beaten and
Oh yeah, you were coming. That's right.
yeah
Check that out, guys.
He was a crazy guy bleeding a lot from the nose.
yeah from all the coke. My character for some reason I guess I look like a cokehead in real life because he got me and he's like, hey, we're just gonna make your nose bleed.
I actually do want to watch more of your stuff, so where would I go to watch this stuff?
I believe it's on my Facebook because
really?
I believe Arturo Portillo took the other one. What's it called? Oh my gosh, I forgot.
For Arturo.
Yeah. It's that short film he did, and he started.
The sorority one?
Yeah.
Alpha. Die.
No, it's no. You know what? It's a different one. I was supposed to.
The only thing I've seen of Arturo's is Beaten. So
I think when I was auditioning for this one, I sent you that video.
You might have.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did.
Wait, for the Witcher one, the Black Magic?
Yes.
Oh
my God, I
with
forgot.
Jerry. With Jerry.
With
Yeah,
Jerry, right? The
That's
voodoo
right.
type
We
thing.
did see
Yeah.
that. I
Did
don't
you
know the
watch
name.
his stuff? Like,
Yeah,
I
like
don't know
I
the
think
name.
that was the only one that I saw, the voodoo one with Jerry.
Yeah, that's the.
And then but I liked the look he had. I was like, nah, let's get him for the lead
Rick.
role.
For Rick.
It's so for Rick. 'Cause he just had the look. I was like, nah, let's get him. Like, just bring him on board.
I
That was
think
very iffy.
I want to mention. I think just so everybody's aware, Myka's a very talented guy. He not only
Thank
does
you.
he act,
He's a
but
music
he's
guy.
a musician. He produces music, and as
Oh,
well
wow.
as he's a stunt coordinator.
You have
Yeah,
any
he's a
stunt
websites we
coordinator.
can check you out? at?
Spotify.
Spotify.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
check that out.
Myka
Okay.
Puentes. It's
Okay.
on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I follow you on Spotify.
And
so.
he's been
Thank
a
you.
stunt coordinator for a couple films of ours as well. And
Well, you
he's
did a couple of things on Rooster's Beak.
Yeah.
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 Sure, with the
stunts and
lady.
whatnot, and a motorcycle
around.
kind of stunt
Yeah.
guy.
I mean, it wasn't tough. Like she was just handling me like.
Well, talking about that,
Yeah.
what inspired you into what got you into this the role for this one?
In the
'Cause
role?
you knew you were gonna kill somebody, so.
Actually, who was it? Matamoros? El
I was
Matamoros.
just wondering.
Matamoros.
Yeah,
Good friend of
he's the one.
Towers,
He's the
yeah.
one that referred me to you guys, and tried to get me into the role. So when I auditioned, I just it's just, I was wondering like what kind of film this was.
because
Yeah,
first of all,
it
this
was-
is the
yeah,
craziest
exactly,
guy.
like,
Yeah.
in the
everybody
Tower
thought the same
Productions.
thing when we read the
like,
script, dude.
This guy has. I mean, I don't know. Like
We didn't know what you were gonna
your
do with it.
ideas, like I love them. They're so demented,
Yeah.
and
He
someone's always getting tortured.
It was great. Yeah.
You know
he
what I
looks
mean?
like
Yeah.
he looks like
Yeah.
he looks like Rob Zombie, but he thinks like Tarantino. Man.
Right?
That's what
Ooh.
Eric is.
Jeez.
And this was the
like
first
that.
film that I didn't get killed. So like, thank you, Eric.
Yeah,
for
surprisingly,
this.
you die a lot.
I die in
It's so
every
weird.
film. Every film.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I thought the last two films, dude. So
Yeah.
thank you, Eric.
I was like, give Eric a role, kill him off in the first scene.
He's got too much.
No, but
that.
yeah, like it was a very fun shoot. And then I remember Myka said he liked the script. It had like that very vulgar, raw way of talking. Guys, when they're guys and guys, they're just talking a bunch of shit. So I wanted to make it as realistic. Well, I don't know if it's realistic. Or
No,
just,
I like the character. Like
they're just very
Yeah, yeah.
like raunchy,
Especially when they're
assholes
eating
in
their
it.
Oh, by the
tacos.
way, this is the
And with the
only film, I think, on the Tower 20 that has a viewer discretion advised
I know.
adversary.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I'm serious. I think it's the
they
only
talk
one.
about very
sets the tone.
pornographic,
Yeah.
or like when Jay has the monologue of the
Uh-huh.
green pie, comparing that to love.
That's a very passionate and like even the panning shot. I love.
Yeah,
I
I know,
think the
right?
panning shot was very like.
It was
this
a
is
must.
impor- Like it was important.
Yeah,
Hey
yeah.
man, Austin and I, when we first read the script, we tried to talk Eric out of it. I'll be honest.
Really?
We tried to talk
That
Eric
line,
out of that
whole thing.
monologue.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, like we get how you want to establish these characters, but you could probably do something else. And he was like, no, I'm gonna keep it
Really?
this. Like we're gonna keep it this way.
Ooh.
And he convinced us. Ultimately, I was like, all right, we'll just.
A man of
What inspired you with that one?
I love it.
Yeah, what'd you get inspiration for that one? 'Cause that was pretty good.
For Jay, as far as that goes, I play a lot of video games. I'm a big video game.
Because you're
nerd.
very, very creepy, dude.
I'm
and
a
you pull
video
it
game
off.
comic book guy.
Still haven't played Fortnite with us, by the way. I'm
I
just
know.
saying,
Well,
but-
I jumped on Apex Legends.
Oh
so
no, you're one of those.
Yeah,
You're one of those guys.
I'm an Apex Legend now.
He's one of those guys.
he's not a follower.
Yeah, I'll still play Fortnite. The update looks amazing, but
It's pretty great.
as far as Jay, the tough guy attitude I think really is Reservoir Doggish.
Yes,
the-
for
I got
sure.
some Ash
The
vibes
calm
from you
down.
today.
Yeah, Ash, Evil Dead
Yeah.
Ash. Yeah,
I'll say Keitel and Reservoir Dogs.
yeah.
Very Keitel.
Yeah, he. I love that. the whole we don't tip at the beginning of the film, so stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Or don't even eat the food.
You don't
Right?
get-
why do you
It's
guys
all
eat the
there.
food?
We see.
Taking chunks.
And one
I
of the
was
scenes in the
munching,
beginning,
yeah.
you guys are at a
They didn't
Don
eat.
Cuco's
They didn't
tacos
eat
and
the
stuff.
food because
The
this
thing was
film had
all
no
full
budget,
still,
and
you
we
guys
bought
just
3
laughed.
plates, and that's
That was it. That was it. 3 plates.
We
But
did
not
eat
in
the
the
feed
film.
afterwards.
not
Yeah.
in the scene.
We
Yeah.
weren't sure if we were gonna get it right the first time.
Yeah.
Until I gave you guys like the goal. And you know what? On this shot, just go all out, eat
Oh,
the food.
Yeah.
That was pretty good though. He was taking.
I was
pretty
putting
good.
the
Yeah.
the pico de gallo on it, man. I was munching.
Brandon Lee Camarena, like
Yes.
you do a lot of film stuff on your own too as well.
I do. I am a writer, filmmaker, dude, on my own.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I-
you're with Gyro and stuff.
Gyro Studios. I started. Well, if you really want to go all the way back, I started doing stuff in like the 7th grade with my brother.
Cool.
And we started making YouTube videos as Max Brand. That's why everybody calls me Max, but Max is my brother, and it's Max and Brandon put together. So-
Max Brand. That's a good company name.
Yeah, so that's
Max Brand.
That's our YouTube name.
The Max Band Brothers.
And we would make like stop motion Star Wars toys videos
Nice.
and stuff like that because I'm a Star Wars nerd. And I met my best friend Skylar in high school, and we started Tribe Studios after our first short film, but we eventually changed our name to Truman Pictures. And I work with Gyro Studios. I work with everybody all
Nice,
around.
Why Truman? 'Cause it's
Truman
Show?
Picture. It's actually the name of the character in our first short film.
Oh, okay.
His
So
name's
you
Douglas Truman, and it's a cat. So our logo's a cat.
That explains
Nice.
that. I didn't know that.
So how did you guys connect? Like,
We did Snowball Effect before.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Uh-huh.
the cinematographer for that movie.
Yeah.
which
Directed
Austin
by-
Yeah,
Austin
this was
directed.
Austin.
and
So
wrote.
we'll talk about that film, and just so everybody knows, don't get confused. These films weren't shot in the order they were released. Okay, so
Oh, really?
we had to kind of divisively turn around and say, okay, let's release films according to what audiences we want to reach in that time. And for instance, this film was released around the Halloween
Of last year.
last year's 2 years ago. No? No, I think it was last year's. Yeah, it was last year. It was last year. So in the Halloween kind of
Yeah,
time.
Yeah, the Halloween season.
Halloween season, and then that's why we waited. So they're not shot in the order they're released. So you guys are don't get confused.
Yes.
You didn't skip an episode on the TowerCast. We're
Yeah,
getting
you
to
guys
the
are good.
snowball effect. So
Yes.
Yeah, I'm also in that one.
So what did you think of the script when you read it and such?
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah?
I got a big kick out of it. I love the twist on it. I thought I was gonna die at first,
Oh,
Really?
and then I walked out and I was like, yes.
Wow, so the 2 people right here got to like come up with something.
I don't think I've
Not
actually
bad.
ever died on camera though.
Really?
Not yet.
Never say
Just
never.
Not yet.
You never have.
I'm waiting for
We
it.
got Sean Bean over here.
Yeah.
He's all
Sean-
dying.
You never been killed off? Damn.
I don't think so. Not. I don't remember. No, I haven't.
No.
Not yet.
Good for you.
Wow.
That's nice.
I am immortal on film.
You are
He's
immortal.
immortal.
and in real life,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That's what
Ah,
thing about
yeah.
Brandon.
Should put it to a test. Let's see.
Just drop
Death
it off the
proof.
roof. Yeah.
So what was like the first day of like set like when you guys like sat down and stuff? Like did you like I'd like to say that we're all pretty real on this podcast. Like did you guys feel chemistry like on set like with each other? Was it like did you guys first two
Yeah,
meet?
because you guys
Yeah.
did you guys know each other?
No.
No.
The chemistry was there.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah, I
got
really
along
did feel that way.
right off the bat.
Like talking all
Yeah.
that crap to each other,
And even with Troy, the other guy.
and, yeah, and then off camera too, we're just like we
Chill.
just hung out.
It's another thing that was thinking
Oh yeah,
of.
you guys
Sorry.
gotta share microphones because
crap, I'm sorry.
we won't hear Myka
Here,
if
let's
you.
hold
Yeah,
mic
well,
together.
Ooh, that's
There's the chemistry. There's the chemistry.
There it is.
That's how it
We were talking about Grand Theft Auto 5, and it was a Trevor, Michael, Franklin type of like chemistry.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
I didn't think of that. That's good.
I like
And
that.
it felt so natural, like when we began, and I believe it was like the first shot was, the killing scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what the first.
I think that
one
was the
I think
first.
that was
That
the
was
one
the
of
whole
production.
killing thing.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
good.
it was a house in the northeast. That was the first.
Oh,
the
that's a
first
crazy
scenes.
story. That's a crazy story. We had another house.
Yeah, we did.
We had another house scheduled. We got to the house and started setting up. And it was aesthetically a much nicer house.
Yeah.
It looked like a mansion, man. Like it was nice. And the individual who was the owner of the house thought we were just making this rinky-dink little high school short or something.
Right.
And when we brought in all of our equipment and crew and everybody, he was intimidated. He was like, "Oh
Really?
no, man! I thought you guys were gonna be in and out. Like you guys,
Oh, damn.
you guys got to bounce."
Yeah,
Really?
no.
And we
Well,
left.
thanks to you, Omar.
It was one of Eric's friends. It was
Yeah,
one
it's
of
one of
Eric's
my
friends.
buddies. But I think he had other shit to do like that
Yeah.
day. and he just seemed overwhelmed, like his.
Hey man, we're filmmakers.
It's,
sure.
Right, exactly. That's the impression he probably
Yeah,
had.
totally.
We all came in with our tower shirts and our
he's like, "Oh,
gear,
shit."
and he was like, "Well," like we saw the look on his face, and we were like, oh, "Shit!" But luckily, Austin's parents had a rental house.
Oh, that was a rental house.
It was their rental house, and somebody they had
Oh, like,
the residents
those
had just
floors
left,
were
right,
just
Austin? I think they
in
had
the
just
creek
left.
No,
Something
so the
you
house
get
had been
off.
unoccupied for a while, but the day we shot was the same day that the people signed the papers. to
No
move in.
way.
So like they
Yo,
signed
like
the
Pulp Fiction. Like
they
get
signed the
caught.
papers like to rent the house, and they were gonna move in like the next week.
No way.
But my dad was like, as long as it's clean, like, and they don't know you
and
were
if you've
there,
seen the
you're
film,
good.
guys,
Freaking crime
blood
scene
all
in
over the
there.
floor. I mean, we had to mop up buckets of blood, dude.
Really?
Like it was.
Is this
pretty
the
intense.
bloodiest tower
blue
film?
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, by a long shot.
I wanna say
Yeah, I
it
think
is.
it might be the
I
bloodiest
think it
one.
is. But anyways, that what happened with the casting on the day of. We had to switch locations that day.
Really?
And there was,
How did you guys manage that? Like, well, like I assume like all the
Tower
equipment. all the-
production.
We managed it pretty well.
Well, look,
like,
yeah,
It's how
I
Tower
think
do it.
it was a matter of we got together and we literally asked the crew. We asked the crew before anybody. We're like, hey, we either decide to stick this out or everybody goes home and we figure this out another day. And everybody was like, no, let's do it. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Because you guys hadn't filmed anything, so you guys were all.
No,
charged
we're just setting
huh?
up that day.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of time. We ended up shooting through the night.
we had a full
little
house
bit,
that time
yeah.
too. Like we had everyone on. In the
But what was
crew.
the like in terms of like the first day of filming? Like, what was the schedule like? Like, was it like multiple locations? Or did you
No, I
guys-
think it was just the
I think
house
it was like
stuff.
2 days max.
Oh, really?
It was just the house and then the taco restaurant,
Yeah.
Tacos Don Cuco.
Ah,
And then
Yeah.
all the B-roll stuff, like
Yeah, B-roll
like-
stuff. We got them within the same days.
within the
too.
same days.
I
it
think
was
we had
2-day
an extra
shoot.
day, just the ending scene. Then the morning.
How did
Yeah,
you?
that was the
Yeah,
morning. It
that
was
was the
very
morning.
fucking
It was-
early in the
it was
morning.
2 days
That was
shoot.
really there was no
You have to
dialogue
pick
or
up the kids
anything.
with all this blood, I
Yeah.
was told.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. My ex
What was
was
that
outside to
like?
pick up my kids and like,
'Cause
holy
it's hard to
shit.
take it all off. I bet you tried, but there was still some.
No, I didn't have time. I just
Oh,
went
really?
straight to go pick up my kids.
That looks like a lawsuit ready to happen.
Yeah. All the
Showing up to
Crazy.
school,
My ex
all
was like,
bloody
hey,
up.
are you okay?
Hey, kids.
Yeah, no, this is just.
I'm
hand
a
me over- hand the
filmmaker.
kids over. Just hand the kids over. It's
Filmmaker,
none of
sure,
your
bud.
fucking
The
business.
Just mind your business.
Yeah, mind your own
It's
business.
Mind your business.
She's
I was
like,
carrying a
okay.
gun and like, yeah,
That's
I'm
hilarious.
gonna pick up my kids. And, no, yeah, it was a fun shoot. I remember Brandon. He texted me like the day of, like, what kind of music does Jay listen to? I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like, he
What?
probably listens to like
Just
70s rock and roll music, you know.
I really like to every time I get a new character I play, I'll create a new Spotify playlist
Yo, that's,
based on
that's
their
interesting.
cool.
based on their personality. I'll,
So what did you win with this one?
a lot of CCR, AC/DC. I remember listening to Back in Black when I was rolling up into the Northeast.
That's perfect.
Why?
Perfect.
though?
That's
That's interesting.
Dirty D.
Just the way he
try
dressed.
that.
He looks like the kind of guy who just drinks whiskey and goes to a strip club, goes home, does drugs, and goes to sleep. So I was like, yeah, that's this guy. Very Colin Farrell, I think, type 2 from True Detective season 2.
Yes,
Kind of gritty.
dude, the Vince Vaughn scenes.
So yeah, I just like music and just always like relating to what the character's gonna be feeling and doing.
So you just pumping
And
yourself up.
think
just
like them. Yeah, I just like to turn Brandon off and go into that mode for a little
You
bit.
definitely pulled it off,
Really?
man.
Thank you.
Creepo.
Now, as a
Yeah.
dad, what did you bring to the, like? What did
Yeah,
that
dude.
bring to the table? You just being a caring father, like, did you
To
at
this
all
whole-
feel like you were kind of like the father figure in the group?
Not really. I was just a friend.
Just one of the guys.
Yeah.
Because you were having relationship problems in this one, so.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's and there was like horrible relationship problems in this
It sounds
one.
like it was.
It
And
ended-
sharing
it
sharing
ended-
that kind of information with my friends, dang, that's like had to be like the most. I mean, I've
For
never
sure.
done that in real life, you know.
Yeah.
We are missing one of the actors here, actually, right?
Troy.
Troy, dude.
He's in the military and he's off doing his.
Oh, nice.
He's
Oh,
in
good for-
Germany
oh,
right
so
now.
he actually so he did play a military.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And that actually.
Red,
what he
renegade
is. Yeah, that's what he
military
does.
guy.
Oh,
type
cool.
of-
He was like the
Twitch
Trevor,
guy,
wasn't he? That's
too.
cool.
Oh, he was great
Yeah.
to work
He was
with.
a Trevor.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Wild
Troy.
guy.
Shout out to Troy, man. He did
Shout out to
great.
Shout out to Troy for sure.
Essentially, the character
And
for
Leslie.
Myka, I wanted to. It sounds dumb, but like, I wanted the audience to like kind of like view the whole story through his point of view, which is that's the whole point of the movie, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because we start with him, we follow him, so the
Right.
whole point of the story is through his eyes. So I wanted the audience to be him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those silent protagonists.
He was probably the most relatable character.
Yeah.
That's one thing I wanted to talk about. Like in this movie, like I really did feel like each character had like something going on.
For
like,
sure.
Either with them themselves or like just on the side of like
Oh, the guy that gets killed. You know?
Because I don't know if you ever touched upon it. Like, did the girlfriend ever know that he was doing this crazy stuff?
That's a good question,
No.
right?
Because it almost seemed like he was living a double life, and at the very
that's what I
end,
got.
Essentially,
Sure.
it kind of is. I guess I tried to imply it in the plot, but like I disregarded it totally. Like,
yeah.
if
It worked.
she
I
knows
liked it.
about it, she knows. If she doesn't, well, she doesn't.
And at the end, it's like, well, yeah, now she's gonna know.
Yeah, she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. What did you pull from, like, I mean, like the conversation they had at the table at like Don Cuco's and stuff like that, and also just like I don't know, like, because this was your second technically, right?
Yeah, second movie I
Second film you
directed.
made. So like,
Yeah.
what films did you watch that made you
How
go?
did that conversation come
Yeah,
about,
like
dude?
what did you cultivate to get this movie?
Honestly, I don't know. Too much porn. I'm
Too
just
much.
kidding.
That's a Titanic circle.
Okay, cut.
No, I mean, I had the concept years ago. I never put it on paper till that year when I started writing the script. It was essentially.
Was it the
everything-
first script you wrote, Eric?
No, I've written other things, but I just this one. I've always had concepts, but this
It
one
was the
stuck
first
out.
script you wrote to get made.
Yes.
Right.
That's the first one that 100%.
Damn, not bad.
And everything.
It's pretty good.
So movies, well, I took inspiration from Tarantino movies. You know, the conversations and
The gory.
the people. They're like their characters.
This was
you know?
definitely a Pulp Fiction type of feel
Mhm.
to it.
And then
Yeah.
I guess I did put a little bit of Robert Rodriguez in it.
Yeah.
And that's it. Just that's unintentional, I guess. I don't know. It's just a thing. And
That's my thing.
John Carpenter, I wanted to add like a little bit
For
of
sure.
mystery to it.
Mhm.
Like the ending, it's like the biggest question.
I'd like to mention that I think you feel the three iterations. You feel the Tarantino-esque dialogue
Mm-hmm.
with the characters and their individual scumbaggy stories, right? You feel the Rodriguez action sequences, and then you feel the John Carpenter moody creature type of
Yeah.
vibe. I think you feel all three in this film.
Yeah, like I tried my best to do that. Like just it's the first one. I mean, it's not a perfect movie, but I the end product I loved it. Like,
Well, I mean,
happy
it
with
looks again.
Yeah.
It looks expensive. Like it looks like you guys like I don't know how much. Can I ask how much like money you guys spent on it or?
We, I think just this. How much for each
Yeah,
taco?
how many tacos that?
We only had
Oh,
enough for 3 plates, so
No, 'cause that was gonna be one of my
but
questions,
that
like-
was definitely. I'm gonna give you the same answer I'll probably give you on every episode. We had enough money to feed the cast and crew, have drinks and food for them on set. We bought blood. We bought the weapons weren't ours.
Lots of
They were
blood.
yeah, they were
Troy's, I
Troy's
think.
weapons.
Troy brought the weapons to the
Really?
props rather, because they were props. They were entirely props.
Yeah.
I mean that's all we really spent money
Because I was
on,
gonna
guys.
say like, well, one of the actresses, Leslie, she plays like a character in the movie. She works at the Don Cunco like restaurant. That's where you guys have your conversation. That's where you have your altercation with her. How did you guys get that location? Like, because it looks like you guys were allowed
me?
to film the like. You
Yeah,
know,
no, we
Carlos
talked
goes
to
to
the
eat there all the
manager
time.
at the spot. We talked to the manager. Anytime we get a location, we
close to me.
try to do the right thing. And we talked to the manager and we brought a location release form. And we said, we're doing an independent film. There's no monetary compensation.
By
We're
the
just going to be
book.
releasing this. Can we film here? And we'll do it around your operating
Yeah.
hours. Or you could shoot whenever you want, even if
So
there's
that was
people here.
operating out. You just
Like
let you
the
do it?
people you see in the background were actual people. That's why we blurred
Oh,
the
really?
background because
Oh,
they were actual
uh-huh.
people who didn't sign release forms.
Yeah.
And when we sat in it was a little corner on the restaurant that they gave us entirely for us, and because they signed a location release form, we asked them, can we use your logo? We'd like to also give a shout out at the end
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
credits, and they're like, yeah, of course, thank
That's
you,
cool,
and no
man.
problem. Anytime you guys need to shoot something, they're really good. They're
Yeah,
really
they
good.
even gave Leslie the shirt.
They gave her
uniform.
the
Oh, they let
uniform
her
shirt.
keep
that?
They let her
I
keep
want
that.
one.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So they were really good. I mean, it's just a matter of that, guys, going to ask
Yeah.
people. I mean, the worst thing they can tell you is no.
Did you guys let them pick their own tacos? Like, were you guys allowed to like?
No,
order
I think
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Like food's food, right?
he's the
If
only one allowed
anything-
to
It's
eat
not pastor,
the-
right?
I don't
Tacos are
think we've
tacos,
ever
man.
talked
Like,
about this on the podcast, Juan, but I don't know if you guys want to talk about wardrobe because we always ask actors, "Hey, man, do you have this, this, and this?" And whatever you don't have, we'll try and buy.
Well, because that's true. Because one of
But their
all these
wardrobe is
characters
very
were-
interesting
Yeah, they
in
were
this
all
picture,
very
you
like
know?
unique.
Yeah.
Like you guys were wearing like stuff.
that was
I
all
guess-
Eric's call, by
Really?
the way. Eric
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
"I know." He knew
Yeah,
how
that
he wanted
shirt
them to
too,
dress.
that's pretty
Are you
know.
big on wardrobe and stuff like that?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
He
Like
cares more-
I was very like on Troy. his character needed to have an army jacket. I just needed him to have one.
Yep.
And then him
He was
too.
adamant.
I hooked him up with the flannel. Like,
Yeah,
Well, look what
that
he's
was-
wearing, guys. Look what Eric is currently wearing. A red flannel.
Red
Right.
flannel.
Yeah.
The flannel guy.
And he was adamant. He's like, I need Jay to have a flannel. I need him to have a
Nice.
red flannel. So
Yeah.
I don't
and,
know. I mean, most of the time we just reach out to the actors. Hey, do you guys have this? If you don't, we'll provide it. But
right.
as much of that you can bring on your own, that saves production a pretty penny. You know.
Yeah.
So
Well, Myka like dresses like a gangster all the time. Like I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
like,
look
look
at
at his
him.
rings and everything, dude. You're like a
You come in your
pimp, like,
motorcycle,
He's
Myka?
a killer, man.
yeah, he's got a
Not
sparrow
this time.
vibe, you know.
Micah's a badass motorcycle driving
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
man.
He is.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
you
I ride
do?
a motorcycle.
Yeah,
You look like a
you
motorcycle
pulled up in
guy.
a motorcycle as soon
Yeah,
as
yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
I do remember that.
Yeah, it was, I think. I
Yeah.
believe.
Mhm.
That was cool.
What type of bike do you got?
A Honda CBR?
Ooh.
Yep.
So who do you race like when you're like?
No, I don't- I don't race.
I just
Yeah.
stunts. He does stunts.
Yeah, I
He's like
just
a
stunt
stunt.
man.
We go to some
Wow.
lot and we do
That's what I'm
stunts there.
saying. Stunt
Yeah.
man
Who are
too,
you,
dude. He's like,
Yo.
No,
I'm
that's-
Rick.
That's why my jacket's all torn up because of all the falls.
Oh, yo, you see that?
Yeah.
That's from a motorcycle accident.
Well,
You're
it's
wild.
Falls. You know, I don't call it
They're
motorcycle
fake
accidents.
accidents.
Yeah.
I could just get back
God
right up.
forbid,
and-
knock on wood. I don't know.
I know,
Yeah,
true,
yeah.
true,
Yeah.
true.
What does your
It's
wife
okay,
say,
but-
dude?
She doesn't like it.
Of course.
Careful,
Born to be
dude.
wild. Born to be wild.
Nobody
Yeah.
likes it.
Really?
None of my family
But what,
likes
you
it.
just get a kick out of it, right? It's a thing.
That's the beauty.
It's like adrenaline
Everybody
rush
has
right
that thing,
there.
dude.
That's the
For
beauty
sure.
of artists, man. Is everybody brings their own flavor to the films that we're working on.
That's
And I
Exactly,
think
man.
that's why they were perfect for these roles. you
sure.
know?
I was gonna say like this is one of those movies where like it's so like it's just so entertaining that like I wouldn't like I always say this but like I'm always like sequel like would you ever like
Oh, a sequel to this? Well, it's
because you
So-
just scratch a surface of like what it
We got a lot of projects.
Yeah, that's
This guy's got a lot of
Um,
projects.
I'd like to
the
stay
less-
without
the
giving
less
too
is
much
more,
away.
right?
You give as much away as you want to, but as far as this film goes, it was always made with the intention that there was more to
really
it.
Yes.
right, really
That was always
so
the
there,
point.
there's
Because-
open
Cliffhanger-
doors for
cliffhanger,
it.
Cliffhanger.
There's a cliffhanger. Well, in a way, I mean,
But,
the
yeah.
plot of this story it closes, but there's still questions like in the
like
in
what's the
story.
creature like?
What was the
Yeah.
ending? Like, what was the creature? Because a lot of people were confused, and I agree. Like, I agree. We just didn't have the budget to add a monster,
Mhm.
and we have that. Like,
open
where did it
ended.
come from?
Mm-hmm.
And then the book that comes out, and Jay leaving the house, which is that's in a separate.
Those are the three
that's a
open-ended.
That's a separate
Yeah.
concept, which I'm working on. So they're like shared stories.
Really?
They get connected through that one.
Cool.
you
We
know?
call it the Eric verse.
the
Yes.
Eric verse I'm down
So-
I'm waiting for this
It's
I'm
a
waiting.
a shared world
Yep.
and stuff.
Very
Oh,
again Tarantino-esque.
I was told
Yeah.
to ask about the monster noises like how did you guys like
I was very.
about that, dude.
I was so like strict with that. Well, I didn't want to just find any like common monster noises like tigers or whatever the roars they put on TV. I was like, no, we didn't make our own because I wanted to do the Jurassic Park thing where like they record different sounds and they would just mix
mixed
them.
together
And we sort of did that. Like we went to your backyard. We just
We
looking at
foleyed
shit.
this. Eric and I foleyed this. I don't
Really?
think
Yeah.
we credited it. We foleyed this. So we went to my backyard to my tool shed. We got a chainsaw, a generator, a lawnmower,
A lawnmower.
and like just started
Whoa,
getting
really?
different sounds out
Whoa.
of these.
I gotta rewatch it
and
now
then
for
when
that
we sound
lawnmower.
mixed,
Yeah.
we just lowered the tempos and lowered the bases
The-
on them,
the pitches
the
and
pitches
everything.
and the tempos, and
Yeah.
slowed them down, and those were the monster noises.
Oh, nice.
I forgot about that,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude,
Some-
these guys are geniuses.
some Burt
man.
Ward over there yeah honestly.
But Eric was very adamant about that. He's like, "Hey man, I want things to make noises out of. I want to record noises, something attainable and that we could mess with." And I was like, "Okay, so let's mess around with Foley." We had never done Foley before, I don't think.
No.
So
For any
you're
movie.
saying there's a chance for a second one.
Well, it's not like a Rooster's Beak 2, you know. It's
No, no,
El
no, no.
Camino
It'll be called something else, like salsa or something.
We'll go talk about the name. Talk about the name.
Oh, the name Rooster's Beak. So originally the project title, I've always had it written down as "Tacos are great," just so I don't forget like the concept
Catchy.
that's funny
that I had that first day that I was in the restaurant. So I just wrote it down in a notebook and I would write like little, oh, this character's this way, this person is this way, and the story goes around like this. So Tacos Were Great was the title for like the longest time, or like unofficial title.
Right.
And then we were at Don Cuco, that specific same one, and we're eating, and I'm still trying to think like of a title. And I was just joking. I was like, pass the Rooster's Beak. Or no.
No. You were like, oh, let me get the Pico de Gallo.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, he's like, wait, I should call it Pico de Gallo. I was like, no, we should call it Rooster's Beak. And I told you, I was like, you should call it Rooster's Beak.
Yeah.
That's what
Damn, I just got
It's Pico de
that.
Gallo. Pico de Gallo.
Yeah, Pico de Gallo. And then he's like, you should call it Rooster's Beak. You know, like,
That's
oh,
dope.
shit.
I actually
Cool.
like that. So.
I like the name a lot, so.
But no, you know what we'll call the next branch of this, maybe Jay's story or whatever? We'll call it a Rooster's Beak film.
Rooster's
Like El
Beak
Camino,
film.
a Breaking Bad film,
Yeah,
a Rooster's Beak film.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's not bad.
He is working on it, guys. He already told us the concept. I won't give away too much. He already told us the pitch. He already showed us a few pages of the script.
Oh, this is legit.
This is legit.
Oh, I did?
Stay tuned.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while, but we're working
Yeah.
on other
It's
stuff
there.
in Tower.
Yeah,
but
it's just have a lot of stories and like they all
Development hell.
low key connect in some
Huh.
way or
Yeah.
there's a, you know.
The
But he has
Towerverse.
pitched to us his next big film, which I can't give too much away on. We're gonna shoot next February, hopefully, next February, and it connects to this universe. That's all I'm gonna say.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
I mean not directly to Rooster Speak, but it's the same world or a shared world. Yeah.
Nice.
And then of course I have a lot of stuff working connected to this
Really?
story and whatnot. Like I have off record. I don't know. I don't want to mention.
Cameras are
anything.
rolling, pal.
Yeah, I know.
All
Turn off the
eyes
cameras.
on you.
Just bleep out my sentences.
Well, coming back to the film, you had a little fight scene and you're a stunt coordinator. How did that happen? There was a lot of blood. You have to shoot somebody, a female.
The female like manhandling me.
Exactly, dude.
It wasn't too hard. I mean, she was pretty tough. She
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like you know picked me up,
She was
Like,
cool with it, yeah, for sure.
and then like obviously my weight isn't like it's like she just like picked me up and you know I pretty much just had to like.
How
go
many
with it.
takes? How many takes? Because I know because of the blood, we couldn't have that many.
We had a decent amount of rehearsal time. I think like at least a couple hours. You guys were rehearsing.
Yeah.
For real? You
Yeah,
guys were out
yeah,
there,
yeah.
the whole
And it was
rolling
within that same day while we were setting up for other shots. They were in the living room rehearsing that because we
That
had a
came out
knife,
nice,
right? It was a
man.
knife, wasn't it? Or it was
No,
a gun. It was a gun.
gun. Yeah,
But
yeah.
he was like handling the gun. So, and then the punching sequences, we had to
Yeah,
make
with
sure
the
to
girl.
time that correctly. So you guys had a decent amount of rehearsal. At
Yeah,
least
it
on that
was-
day.
It was
It
Come out
wasn't
good,
like
or no
impromptu.
hiccups, no like you accidentally like elbowed her or something.
no nothing. It everything was all smooth that day.
Like,
Nice.
what's your process like then? Like, how do you?
We just go over it, and then
You
you know
see
whatever
the face, right?
Carlos and Erik liked, you know, we just kept on like adding to that or you know,
Sweet.
and they were the ones that fixed it up after that.
How'd you guys do with the blood
Luis,
though?
man, Luis Moreno. He was the DP for this. Moreno Ramirez, I believe.
Yeah,
it was.
Luis was the DP.
He was a DP for this, and he was mobile. He was on shoulder rig for that sequence, and he kind of called out. He was our guide,
He was
saying, "All
working
right,
out.
this is how close we can be. We can't be any closer than this, or they're gonna hit camera, or we're gonna hit them."
Oh, that's right.
So we had to sequence that with the timing of the punches. So I think it was Luis being a guide for Erik. I didn't do anything. I was just gaffing that on that set, but I think it was more Erik and Luis kind of timing camera movement because camera was mobile, so it was in and out. And if you go too in, you hit actors. If you go too out, you don't get the shot, and it doesn't look
Right.
believable. So
Exactly.
I think it was that. That's what I remember from set.
I have one big question. When the lights go out, what happens to Troy? What happens to the soldier guy? Is the monster?
Yeah.
My theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no! Don't answer that. What's the theories?
Okay, so
what's
honestly-
the theories? What'd you
okay,
get?
honestly-
Yeah.
I thought when you open up the book, it was kind of like it sucked things in, but there was like a monster trying to reach out. And you just so happened like just get. I thought he got sucked in, but then like once the lights turn on and you see like, yeah,
smeared over.
the smeared over, you're just like, okay, so clearly something like went out, grabbed him, and like scratched.
That's
him
not
out.
far fetched. That's not far fetched.
Yeah,
The
you're
book
not
plays a
far-fetched.
Not far.
huge role in this.
Okay,
Really?
That's why the book's important. That's their job to go get this book.
right, and
You
then
know?
you end up finding out there's like some mysticism to it. So.
Yeah, and they don't go in detail about the book. I wanted them to treat it like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction, where like it was, you don't know what's inside,
Yeah,
like,
okay.
but you just make up your own, idea. So yeah, essentially it's just that. Like, it's like my thing is I love creating characters and put them in extraordinary events.
Mhm.
So these guys were just malandros, they're killers, they're hitmen, or they go to do their thing. They're ruthless. They don't even like think twice about killing these guys.
They don't even
care.
finish their tacos. That's how hard
I
they
know.
are.
Ruthless people don't even finish their
Ruthless gangster
food.
definition,
And
villain.
Brendan, you were like the bad guy, like the boss, right? Or what were you?
Guess I was like the head of the hired gun crew.
Right?
Yeah.
Directing
Yeah.
everybody.
You
that's-
really had to lead that. Like,
Essentially.
Yeah, for
and you
sure,
really,
dude.
You sold that. That's why you were scary, dude. You're just
Yeah.
smiling the whole time.
I like to think about like that was another thing I was going to say is Albert Wesker from Resident Evil. He's
Yeah.
one of the
I
dudes
think
under
you guys
Umbrella,
talked about
you know,
that because
calling
Eric's
the
into
shots.
those video games
Yeah.
a lot.
Oh,
Red Dead
yeah, weirdly
Redemption
enough.
and Resident
Oh, yeah.
Evil and.
I like to include like some of that stuff. I
But
don't know
think
why
in
Resident
term-
Evil.
in terms of the
Dark
story, though, the creature and the book, it's Eric introducing this extraordinary sequence to the world.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Yeah.
the following stories that are about to come, this was the introduction to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm down.
It's like Stranger. I
That's
like to
actually
think of
cool.
it like Stranger Things, right? Stranger Things, the first season, you don't see anything
Right.
really. It's just introducing that something's coming,
right.
and that's what this is.
It exists. It's out there.
It's out there.
It's out there. Your Cloverfield. I'm down.
But I mean, that was look. Indie filmmakers, pay attention. We don't have money for a monster. We don't have money to make a monster. So what's cheap? We turn off the lights. We make crazy sounds. We turn on the lights, and there's blood in the sequence.
And you fuck up a rental house.
And you fuck up a rental house. But I mean, you know, that's how we got around that. Was let's just turn off the lights. You'll hear the creature sounds. You'll hear Troy screaming and being murdered.
Uh-huh.
And then you turn on the lights and he's dead and there's blood and half of his body is basically cut off. And that was the cheap way of doing that.
Right.
Really?
The independent way. Not those cheap.
Well, you're right. The independent way.
Yeah.
I'm just
Affordable.
thinking Rodriguez, man. Rodriguez would say,
Yeah.
you get away with it by doing that.
Yeah.
And that's how we got away with it, basically.
That's cool. What's the most like challenging part about this movie that you guys individually was there anything where you were like, oh man, I've never done a movie where I have to be like this enthusiastic or this dry or this, I don't know, like what you guys were going through in your own personal actor heads.
What was your vibe
And
with
director
Tower
head.
Productions?
Well, when I first arrived, I was really intimidated by like the shirts and the
Right?
production,
Like, oh,
Yes.
and that
Nazi
kind of like
Germany.
Yeah, yeah.
got me by
That's what we're
surprise
calling
when
our
I got
next
there.
film, guys. The shirts.
It didn't
was-
give you a little bit of confidence, like it's a little bit intimidating, but at least these
I
guys.
was overwhelmed, and then you helped me out. You're like, "Hey man, be more like this if you want, if you can."
Oh
Remember
really?
that?
Yeah, for sure.
And
I just want to go on the record to say that this is the third or fourth time that on this podcast they say Eric helps the actors. Eric is always
I love
like
the actors. I like to give feedback. I like
being
to
an
give
acting
feedback.
coach, man. Basically,
yeah,
so that's
sure,
awesome.
dude.
Just want to say that.
Well, if we ever
Yeah, I've definitely
ever do,
wanted
like,
to
any
both of you guys. I've
classes
even asked you a
Yep,
couple
yep.
times too.
But sorry, Myka, you were saying.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. So Eric helped me out, and he's all like, "Hey, concentrate and be more like this," because I believe you noticed my face, like I was kind of.
No, yeah, but I was seeing what you were going for. I was like, yeah, dude, you gotta go with that.
I was like, "Holy
For
shit,
sure.
man! This is overwhelming." Like everyone's like, with lights and the boomstick and everything was just coordinated like
nice,
perfectly.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
But it gives you confidence, right?
Had you shot? Just shout out to Arturo Portillo because he's an awesome filmmaker within his own right. But would you shoot Beaten before this?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I was actually doing Beaten.
Because
Yeah,
Beaten's a
Beaten was
feature
for
film,
but it
guys.
was for like 2 years though, right? It was
Yeah,
like,
I was in
well,
production
Beaten
for
was-
2 years.
no, actually like 3
3 years.
Yeah,
years, I believe,
so-
because I had my
yeah.
long
A lot of
hair when we
stuff
first started.
Yeah.
My hair was like up to my shoulder, and then I got in trouble at work,
so
so I had to cut it. And there was a scene where we're driving down the truck and I'm cutting my own hair because I had it long, so I started cutting it in the truck. But he took that part out though. But
Yeah.
anyway,
I'm
like
just asking because, again, we screened Beaten at the El Paso Film Festival. It's the first time we had ever seen it. We'd heard a lot of buzz about it. It's been
Yep.
getting a lot of awards. Good
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Arturo,
for
man.
sure.
Good for Retro Spectrum.
Shout out to Arturo.
yeah, retro
Spectre?
spectrum. Yeah.
Very
Spectre
ambitious
Spectrum.
movie.
But very ambitious. You know, Arturo said he did it by himself in terms of crew, man. So that's
Yeah.
our hats off to him. Our hats
Yeah.
off to him. But I ask because you were in a feature film before this film, you know, so you must have gotten some type of vibe. Like you already had some acting experience
Yeah.
outside of this, so that you basis of comparison, you know.
When Arturo when he films, it's more like a guerrilla kind of like
Cool.
like film, like the camera and roll, and he tries to get natural shots, but this was like set up. It actually looked like a scene, like it was overwhelming.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. First impressions. Okay, cool. What,
Yeah,
what about you,
just-
Brandon? What'd you get?
And be brutally honest, man. Because
Yeah,
I know
man, you're not
like
gonna hurt our
you
feelings.
know,
We'll just
sugarcoat it.
Just know if you have something bad to say, we're gonna take you outside after.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
man.
The hardest thing for me was the monologue. It's like not a Brandon thing at all, as funny as it sounds.
Really, dude? That was natural as hell for me.
Yes, but so I that was the thing that I practiced the most and I was most nervous about. Was
Fucking
the monologue.
eyebrows and shit.
I didn't want to like mess it up. That's like I was glad I had the sunglasses to work
That was
with.
a sweet, yeah, for
And
sure.
I put the Band-Aid on my finger too, so I could like be messing with it with my thumb.
What was that? Was that just you or?
That, yeah, it was just
that
me.
wasn't us.
Yeah.
I saw it. I was
That was all
like,
him.
fuck, I gotta cut.
Yeah, I just put the Band-Aid on.
Character for sure.
Yeah, I like that. I think that was about it, because everything else was like, yeah, I could totally be a mean, tough guy with a gun. But the monologue, because there was a character that I played in a feature film before for Catherine Horak named What We Were.
Okay.
That was my first feature role. And I played a character named Liam, who's a very loudmouth party boy.
Liam.
And that line reminded me of Liam, but I didn't want to sound like Liam. I wanted to sound serious.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
Cool.
but stern, you know. I'm giving a lesson.
You were giving advice.
Yeah.
Very bizarre advice, but it.
Yeah.
You got you
You get the point across.
Got the
Yeah.
vibe for sure.
So that was your kind of initial. This is what's making me nervous. Is this monologue I have to
Yeah.
deliver?
Yeah.
How did you feel on set? Like with everybody, how was production? How was
It was awesome getting on set with everybody. I remember my car. You guys had to jump my battery.
a few times?
A couple of times. I was like, guys, my battery's dead again. So I was really grateful for that. But got along with everybody. It was really awesome to hang out with all you guys.
Were you intimidating like this guy?
No.
He's been on a few
I
sets
guess because
too,
I've
right?
been on a few sets. I've been on a feature. All this stuff. So I've been working, in camera work since like high school. So I'm just like, yeah, everybody's around. Everybody's cool.
You like the vibe and everything?
Yeah, I fell asleep on the floor a few times because I was sleeping. So I was like, "Don't mind me, guys. I'm just gonna take a nap here." So
Yeah,
I was comfortable.
You gotta do
Yeah, while we were setting up the shots.
We were comfortable around each other,
Changing
so-
sets.
We were setting up the shots.
It was
pretty
awesome
good.
though.
Somebody fell asleep on set, right?
Troy.
All three of them.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Everyone.
All three
Yeah,
of
we
them
were all
did.
asleep on the corner.
Yeah,
way.
because we had to set up. We had to set up shot. We had to move lights, and they had to stay in position because of continuity. We don't have stand-ins, guys. We don't have money. We don't have stand-ins, but they had to stay in position while we set the blood around them, right? So while we set the blood, set camera, set lights, repositioned everything. I mean, that was a good
I ruined the whole
30,
outfit.
45 minutes of.
Oh yeah, it took a.
So they took a nap.
Troy wasn't playing dead, remember?
Oh yeah.
He was asleep in
He
that
was
scene.
asleep.
He wasn't playing dead. He was
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
asleep in that scene.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, you just relax.
You just stay
don't
there.
mind
Oh my
us.
God, Troy, you're amazing. All right, cut.
Troy.
It's like we
Someone poke him.
Before on sets where I've fallen asleep before.
really.
Real?
I pretend to be asleep and
Is it just because they're setting up for the next scene? Because that happens a lot, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with
you
you
get
with
that moment of rest. I see.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I was supposed to be asleep before the scene, and he's setting up the camera in front of me. It was Josh Polito for one of his Gyro Studios projects. Action, Brandon. Action. Brandon, I said action. What?
Nice.
Woke up after sleep. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I actually fell asleep.
It happens.
Yeah, I
it
wanna
happens.
I wanna
There's a lot of
talk
standing
about
around
something
sometimes
because
as an actor.
we have very good perspective on two people who have worked with three people. Because Erik, too, you've worked with a few companies around town, and what's the vibe like in El Paso right now in terms of filmmaking? Who's doing what? Who's out there? What's going on? You know,
Hustlers.
what's been your
Hustlers.
experiences with the filmmaking scene in El Paso? You know, if any.
I've had a really awesome time.
Yeah, man, you seem
I've
like an
met you
interesting
guys.
dude.
I've worked with some really cool people all around the city. I've been in this since high school. I'm really lucky to have everybody that I've worked with. Skylar and my brother Max and my best friend Ruben and
Older or younger brother?
younger brother.
For real? Cool.
Yeah. So it all started with my best friends Skylar and Carlos back in high school, and I always told myself I'm never going to stop making movies with these guys. We recently won an award in LA.
That's right.
For
Plug it.
for one of our 2-day film fests
Cool.
with Gyro Studios, and it was the Gyro Truman collaboration.
Okay.
It was amazing. It's really cool that we not only that we were nominated in Austin and Albuquerque and
I
Portland.
saw that, man. I'm
Yeah.
congratulating
It's
you.
really
man.
cool. Thank you.
That is
so
cool, man.
we're finally on the circuit. It feels really awesome to be working with everybody.
Truman Tower collaboration coming
Yes,
soon.
I have a lot of ideas.
We've been talking about this. So
I'm
Keep a
pretty
lookout.
wacky. I love the Adult Swim wackiness, humor.
Oh yeah.
Done all kinds of stuff. I actually worked the Rickmobile a few weeks ago too.
Oh,
and that was really
I
cool.
missed that
Cool.
to see The Irishman. I think, or I don't remember.
It was the same night, I think.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I missed
Yeah.
that to go watch The Irishman.
Yeah, but it's the community's. I'm super proud that it's growing. Super happy that everybody's getting out there, and I'm glad that more people are coming in, like Robert Rodriguez and stuff like that.
You have plugins like websites where they can reach you at. Right now,
Truman Pictures. You could just find us on Truman Pictures on YouTube and Gyro Studios. That's all the stuff we've done a lot. Links there somewhere there.
Yeah, for sure.
But I've worked with some really awesome people. You guys. I've worked with recently. I don't think they have a studio name, but with Donovan Dominguez and Noah Navarro on a short that they did.
Is that Noah? Lifeguard Noah?
No,
another Noah.
No.
Okay.
And then I was in the Ghostbusters project as well. Aaron Mutter and Luna Soleil, is that the company? Forget their name.
I believe so.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out.
Everybody that I've worked with is really awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
I'm looking forward to more work in
For
the future.
sure.
Yeah, I love acting.
Hey, you, Myka, you want to plug in your work, your music, your motorcycle stunts?
Well, I don't have any videos, motorcycle stunts, because I'm usually falling. which is
Which
I'm
but you
practicing.
have a team, right, Michael?
Practice
Like
makes
you
perfect, right?
you have friends that all of you do this stuff.
Yes,
type of
yeah,
stuff,
we do. Yeah,
Dude,
we
I
have
gotta
a
get
little
my
group
drone
of
shot
friends.
and follow you, dude.
Yeah, dude, do it.
Let's
That'd
see
be
what
perfect.
else. My music, you guys can follow my music.
Where
On
at?
Spotify. It's
Spotify.
Myka Puentes.
Myka Puentes.
And let's see what else.
What's been your experience, Myka, in terms of working with the film community in El Paso?
The film community. You know what? I've started working with Frank Powers.
Okay.
Frank Powers.
Yeah, Frank Powers. He was the first, the first group that I started working with.
Okay.
And then from him, I met Arturo Portillo.
Sure.
And then from Arturo Portillo, I met you guys, and and
Nice.
I didn't know the film community here was. It's growing.
Yeah,
And
me
it's
neither,
been
dude.
growing.
Yeah, dude.
Myka and
definitely.
Brandon, I want to say, in terms of with Tower,
Really don't see
Myka
it till
and Brandon
you
are
start
two
meeting
guys
people, man.
that we not only do we love to work with, man, but we know we can count on them. Like
Who?
if with Myka and Brandon,
Oh, yeah,
Myka
yeah, for
and Brandon,
sure.
like if I remember Brandon for the tram, right? For the tram, we called him. I think like the day before and was like, "Hey, man, we need a crazy wacky guy
Yeah,
to play
dude,
this
that'd be
role.
fun.
Can you do this?" And he was like, "I'm down. I'll be there." With Myka for Assumed, which we'll talk about these movies in the future, guys. But we called Myka and was like, "Hey, man, we need somebody to play this thug that's like running from the cops." And he did it. Like these guys we can count on these guys for sure, man. They're very,
You fit
very,
the
very
character for a last
reliable.
Hell yeah.
So if you're
I've
out
been
there
wanting
and
to
you're a
work with
filmmaker and you want to reach
Dude,
out,
dude, you just keep
these guys
he
are
keeps
great, man.
avoiding
These
me,
guys
dude,
are
for some
great.
reason.
yeah. I mean, we've been a company for almost 4 years, man. We're going on 4 years in May with
Shit,
Tower.
4 years
Yeah,
already?
dude.
Yeah,
and
Tower Productions.
and you're absolutely right. When we first started, the film community was slim to none,
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
and now it's really growing, man. It's
Really?
really
In the
growing.
span of
Pretty
a year,
awesome.
you think? Or?
In the span of a couple years.
A
Couple
couple of
years?
years.
Yeah.
Because when I started like working with film producers here, it was just
Commercial stuff.
Yeah, commercial.
Commercial
Oh,
stuff.
you
yeah.
know.
About the-
Okay.
and little by little I started meeting like a lot of people, and from them like that El Paso, a 2-day El Paso
Two-day challenge.
challenge.
That was
Yeah.
the first 2-day
It
challenge
was-
in like I think a decade in El Paso.
Oh, really?
They
Really?
hadn't done one in
Bad
Oh,
long
wow.
nights.
Yeah,
When
because there's a lot of
Drew
like.
Mayer Oaks came in, man. Drew, we got to give a shout out to
From
Drew.
film-
Yeah,
Drew's
Drew
been
for
very,
sure.
very good to us.
Yeah.
He's our film commissioner.
Yeah, man.
Honestly,
Before
shout
him-
out to him because he always shares our stuff.
Yeah, he does.
And
he does.
and that's really cool.
Shout out to
Stuff,
Drew. Before Drew, we had a film commissioner called her name was Susie Gaines, and she was the El Paso film commissioner for.
I loved her.
Susie was
Yeah,
great, man. She retired. She retired. She invited. Tower was at her. There she is. Yeah, there's Susie.
Yeah, man. She was awesome.
She Tower was present at her retirement party. She invited us out. And
Oh
we were
yeah,
there.
you did say something.
Yeah,
about that.
and we thanked her. She was
Yeah,
great to
man.
us.
She
She
was
helped
great,
us a
dude.
lot with our first feature film with Depth of Field. And
She
then
believed.
Drew, succeeded her, right? And Drew has been great to us, man. He's just a great film commissioner. He really revamped the indie film community in El Paso.
For sure.
He started the 2-day challenge again. He was incorporating a lot of the local flavor stuff for Plaza Classic Film Festival. He helped a lot. The Film Commission sponsored the El Paso Film Festival that we just had.
Yeah, shout
I
out
mean,
to him, man.
they're revamping a lot, man. They're trying to get filmmakers to be active in El Paso. Not only that, they're trying to bring work from LA and New Mexico to Texas to
Really?
El Paso. That's what Drew's working on, and he
Yeah.
shares
Hopefully,
that. stuff with
hopefully.
us.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
cool. Yeah.
So just shout out to Drew, man. You're doing an amazing job, and you've been really good to us, and you're
Appreciate
really
it.
good to any film company or crew that needs help, and you've been good to everybody. So.
I guess since we're all on the same page of being creative and stuff, like, what do you guys think? Like, like, cause I mean, I guess in a way, like, this is our opportunity to create our own little, like, yeah, like our own little Hollywood, if you will, if we can say that.
You know
like,
what I've always said? I tell Austin all the time. I'm a big classic Hollywood nerd.
Mhm.
Humphrey Bogart and,
Mhm.
and Audrey Hepburn and
She's
Billy
beautiful.
Wilder and just I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
love John Ford, and classic Hollywood vibes, man. Like I joke around with Austin all the time that we have our own studio. El Paso, the city of El Paso, is our studio lot.
Yeah.
Because we have mountains, we have forest,
Mhm.
we have desert, we have
everything.
a
like,
city, we
yeah.
have a rural area. Like it's all a big studio lot that we can
Mhm.
utilize. And everybody in El Paso is really nice, man. They could be assholes.
Oh,
They
yeah.
could
No,
be
there's-
like
yeah.
people in
Oh, there's
Austin and
definitely a
people in
couple out
Dallas,
there.
people in LA that no, you can't film here without a permit. No, you have to. You go
Yeah.
up to people and ask, "Hey, would you mind if we film here? For 10 minutes?" Oh no, go ahead. What's
for
this all about? They're
Yeah, they're
excited.
excited.
Yeah,
man.
they're
They're
all-
excited.
It's
you know?
excitement that you see
So
first.
just El Paso is really good about that, man. Like you can creatively, you don't have anything holding you back other than
yourself. And,
yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Finance is a
That's
big
very
thing.
true.
That's what we don't have out here in El Paso is people
Mhm.
wanting to finance these kind of projects,
Mhm.
and we're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it for sure.
Working on there. So just I mean, anybody in El Paso is a filmmaker, guys. I love what Juan says. This is the Towering podcast for the Towering filmmaker, and there's no excuses, man. If you want to get out there, you can.
That's true.
That's the truth of it.
That's true. How do you guys find opportunities? Obviously, you're a part of Tower and such, so like, I'm sure for you, you're just like, I gotta write this thing, I gotta make it out there. Like, what do you like jump over in your own personal lane? Like, do you have self doubt? Do you have like, what is it that you kind of have to like overcome as a director and writer?
Can I answer that? Can I answer that for you, Eric?
Sure.
A great team.
Yeah.
Great
A
crew.
great team and great
Essentially.
collaborators, because though like Brandon and Myka and people out they're not a part of Tower, quote unquote.
Well, they're very collaborative.
They're very
Yeah.
collaborative, and
They're
people
down for
outside of
anything.
our
No, you guys are
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
yeah
Like,
yeah they're awesome.
I'll say this. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. Makes sense? Or
Dude, I'm with you on that,
just
for
like
sure.
I knew Austin a long time ago. And it's,
Tell that
I'm-
story, sure. Or we're gonna
Alright.
save it for the Tower Origins
Yeah,
podcast.
dude.
I had a little teaser for that. Maybe.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So
Tease me.
essentially, before Tower became anything, I knew Austin from high school, and so because we haven't
I
even
didn't know you
seen
knew
each other.
I
Huh?
thought, oh, what?
Well, I knew him
Yeah.
back in elementary.
Since
actually.
grade school, yeah.
Yeah, since grade school. So, and it was in high school when we had an audio production class, and that's how we bonded,
Yeah.
cameras and movies and shit. And after high school, nothing was happening. I was getting bummed out because, like, what the hell? I want to do something, but there's no one was interested, like, none of the people that I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And then Austin and I kept trying to meet up to make a movie, but never happened. And boom, one day out of the blue, I was feeling pretty depressed. I'm not going anywhere with the film business. And then I get the text message from Austin. He's like, "Yo, I know this guy. He has a script. Do you still want to make a movie?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" So,
Shit.
shit.
That's all you had to
Did
say.
the origin start with you, Carlos?
Origin story.
starts with
Look,
you,
we're
man.
planning an origin story. I'll give you guys a little teaser too. We're
The-
planning an
the
origin
Tower
story
biopic.
after episode 10 or
I would like to
episode
do-
10, right?
I'm
Like,
down. I'm down. Yeah.
I thought we talked about this
Like
one.
we have. I'm down.
After episode 10 of the TowerCast, we're on episode 4, right? This is episode 4?
Five.
5. This is episode 5. We're halfway there. On episode 10, we're going to do a Tower origin story where we talk about how the company started, where we talk about our first feature film and our first short film, and
Our first fight.
we're gonna
everything.
our first everything. So
The Tower
I'll leave that there so we can focus on Rooster's Beak a little bit. But
yeah, stay tuned for that.
stay tuned to episode 10. We're gonna talk about the Tower origins, and you'll see just how we became a company and this great group of guys here.
Talk about reception, I guess.
I'd like to believe people who are listening right now are probably writing a script, or probably like trying not to stress out,
Yep.
maybe taking a break, what have you.
Asking questions to themselves. like,
Yeah, honestly, no, yeah. So I feel like I feel like when we're on these mics, we should be like open about it, just so that we're genuine and like I mean we have been. It's it's
Can
weird.
I
Like
can I
Go
can
ahead.
I touch on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know I'm talking a lot, guys. I'm sorry.
No, it's
I-
fine.
I'm a weirdo.
Shut up, man.
Yeah, shut the fuck. I'm
I've got
leaving.
nothing to say.
No.
Somebody said it.
Whoa.
oh,
Well then,
Michael
then
L. back there.
Yeah,
Oh,
No,
Michael.
so
Mess with his
when we
equipment.
first started, man, when Tower first started, we weren't quote unquote welcomed into the film community. We were actually looked down on by some big companies that will remain nameless here in town. And they looked down on us, man. They kind of treated us like shit. They kind of treated us like shit when we first started making movies. We took meetings with people and said, we don't know what we're doing. We want to get into this. We want to be storytellers. We need help. And they looked down on us like, yeah, kid, we're not going to, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we vowed to never be those kind of people to other people that want to be filmmakers, you know? We're all here. We're all running the same race.
Yeah, we're on the same boat.
And just in terms of what you're talking about, just if you're out there making a script and you need help, reach out, man. Reach out.
Fellow actors over here, man.
Yeah, reach out to Brandon,
feedback.
reach out to Myka, reach out to Tower. Anybody, everybody's pretty good now in terms of the film community. Everybody's pretty helpful.
If
like
you guys want to
formulating.
reach me, you guys reach me through Facebook because I don't have Facebook.
Hey.
Reach Tower to reach Erik.
Yeah, because I don't do none of that
I
social
know
media.
a few filmmakers that
Yeah,
have
so
wanted to
that's-
cast Erik have reached out to us like, how do I get a hold of him?
Yeah, no, I've been losing a lot of jobs because of that. I'm not into the whole social media, but if you want to reach me, Tower Productions.
Yeah.
That's my family.
But
right
just
there.
to answer your question, Quan, I think just help out. I mean, help other people out, and I like to think that too. I like to think that somebody's listening to this and is thinking, "Oh, that sounds like it's something,
Like something
I can do."
Yeah,
and
Same.
it is. It really is. So please do it.
That's part of the origin story, man. When I met you, like I need that in my life.
Yeah, baby.
With that said, like, do you guys what's like the biggest takeaway you got out of this film? Like, what did you learn that you didn't previously learn in other projects?
That's for the fellow actors right here.
Fellow actors, fellow directors. This was Erik's
first with the actors.
first,
The alumni.
Second.
first film of your own type of thing. Like, this was your first kind of experience.
Yeah, like the first.
I'm excited to see what you're gonna make. Like, honestly, like
Let's start with the cast. What did you guys take out of this? You know.
What did I learn?
Well, yeah. What did you get out of this film, if anything? A shitty
first
film.
off,
Because I feel like I learned something in every film.
yeah, I learned a lot from this film actually. Like, I learned to take advice from everyone, you know, because some people might take it as a criticism, but it's just constructive criticism,
Yeah.
you know. And I learned to take that over the years because when I started music, I started back in 2001, you know,
Okay.
we started the band in 2001 in high school, and with constructive criticism, you know, it helps you build yourself, you know. And some people actually take it as
They feel offended or something.
they get offended.
It's like, no, I'm just.
You know, like, hey, I'm myself. Like, you know, I'm a
Or
guitar
like-
player. You know, I can do this shit myself. No, like, not everyone's perfect.
Exactly.
And with constructive criticism, it helps you build yourself.
Yeah.
So when we started playing, some people were ruthless as fuck. You know, like,
Especially with a band, man.
yeah. So when we started, our first show was Club 101 when it was in downtown.
Holy
that was your
shit!
first one?
Club 101,
Club
throwback.
101, and
Back in
from
the
there
group.
we started playing with we just started sharing the stage, and we actually shared the stage with Static X,
Static X.
Oh shit!
Powerman 5000,
Nice.
with POD back in our days.
Wow,
those
cool.
were
POD.
big
Yeah,
big
That was a
bands.
big 2000s new metal.
Drowning
Yeah,
Pool,
yeah.
man,
Drowning
all
Pool.
those
Nice,
bands,
man.
like,
Nice.
well, that's what helped us build us up, you know, because we took constructive criticism, and we actually tried to fix ourselves with that.
Yeah, man.
And with films, like with every single film that I've been in, I've learned, you know,
certain stuff.
certain stuff, acting. You helped me a lot with the acting, like how to move, you know, with this
Awesome.
one. So
These
I'm-
looks that I saw you could do, I was like, just
yeah,
look, dude, just
exactly.
Pull it off.
And
for
Erik
sure.
too. Like, you guys just helped me out. All of you guys just were like a helpful hand.
Awesome, man.
Awesome.
I like
About you, Brandon?
Oh man, there's always a takeaway on every production.
Don't
for
sugarcoat it, man.
everything. Dead serious. It's always good to complete something new and work with somebody awesome, and it's always a big push to go home and finish writing what I'm writing and
Yeah.
go finish filming what we're filming and just do more. It's always a big push to remind yourself that there's never an end to this. There's always a big takeaway and something that you're gonna learn to do something better and whatever's gonna come next. It's always about forward, always and always forward and not giving up and shit. Yeah.
True. Erik?
What,
True.
what about Erik?
What was my whole takeaway from all this movie? It's a lot of work, which I like.
For
It
sure.
felt like
good
I was
work.
getting something done, so
Yeah.
that's what I feel. And originally I wanted to DP this by myself. Then I was like, Oh yeah,
think we talked you out of
I'm
it.
glad I had a DP because
Yeah.
it was.
I just want to say, man,
tough.
I think that this film, the cast obviously beautiful, but beautiful job from everybody. But I was really impressed with Erik as a director on this, man.
Yeah,
I
dude,
mean,
I'm not even bullshitting.
no bullshit. I mean, it
That
was
intro,
it was
dude,
one of the first
with
things he
Rooster
did,
in, I'm
and
like, that's legit.
Yeah,
this was all him, man. This was his baby, and I think he did amazingly. I mean, look, I could never make a movie like this. If you've seen my films, I'm more of a drama, romantic comedy kind of guy, and monologue stuff and dialogue stuff, and that's my jam,
It's forte.
So I could never do something like this, and Erik had the balls to I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this film. Yeah, the way I see it.
We needed a Quentin Tarantino in our
Yeah,
group.
man, we needed a Tarantino in our group type of thing, and it's teaching me a lot because I'm currently writing a horror film, and we'll say more. And currently writing. I never thought I would, and I've been really consulting with Erik about it. Like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And he's my go-to guy for that kind of vibe. And I think this Rooster's Beak was the first of many that Eric's gonna be. I read his new script. Now we've read his new script that we're shooting in February, and it's the best thing he's ever written.
Dude, you guys are teasing the audience too
honestly,
much.
honestly, we're not
No, you're
interested.
giving them blue
way
balls.
too much.
2020 is gonna be a good year for Tower.
2020.
Man.
Hey, but who's the one that edited this video? This film?
Austin, right? No, Luis. It was Luis.
Luis edited this film. I gave him the
Shout out
editing
to
job
him,
because
too.
he DP'd the whole movie himself. So I was like, nah, it'll be easier for you to cut it together. So I asked him just to give me one cut, and then I'll just sit next to him like, okay, so the details, specific stuff.
What do you ask? Well, not ask, but how do you approach your editor? Like, to be like, hey, so, like,
Yeah,
if you,
that's a good question.
because
A very
I
good question.
imagine you being very visual.
I've asked you that a lot of times, Carlos.
Do you have the cuts already?
Honestly, I
planned?
feel like for me, the easiest way to do that it worked. I just ask him. He has all the footage. Give me a cut. Like just put a cut together, a rough cut, and then we'll meet up, and then I'll sit next to him, and I'll tell him like, okay, I want this to be this way. Oh, don't use this shot.
Do you
Use
find
this
that
other
hard?
one.
You find that hard because
No, it's fun. I mean,
I'm sure it doesn't come out the same way you thought about it.
Oh yeah, but that's bound to happen. But overall, I was really happy how the movie came out. Like, so
I mean,
whatever I envisioned, it played out.
Because that's always been my
Yeah.
biggest question. Like, how do you give your work to somebody to edit? You know what I mean? Like, that's insane to me, right?
Yeah, it's a gray area.
Yeah. I mean, we got
So,
Austin too. So
you just gotta have
that
faith.
helps out a lot. But I've always wondered that, man.
No, yeah, I mean, Austin edited my thing. That
Yeah.
was one of the things we had where I was like,
Because that's a lot of pressure, Austin.
yeah,
Too, dude.
and I mean, I'm not like a control freak or anything by all means, but I do remember having to be like, wow, it's the first time I've actually had to talk to an editor and be like, do it. I don't know, it was interesting. So it's cool that because I mean, you want to avoid the walking on eggshells thing,
Right,
always. You
right.
don't want to
It went pretty smooth for
yeah,
me.
you
I
just
mean,
put that aside, huh?
because I'll just put my faith on him, and then
That's tough.
I mean,
There's been
always look at
filmmakers we've worked with that I say we, Austin more than anybody as an editor. He's worked with different directors, and he's had the directors who are like, give me a cut, let me see what you think. That's how me and Erik are. And then let me get your take on it, let me get your cut, and then I'll come in and give my take. And then he's had directors that sit over his shoulder for every single cut.
Really,
Exactly.
Which I guess
It's their process.
it's their
Everybody has
yeah.
a process.
Yeah.
So.
I just feel it saves more time and it's
For sure.
easier.
That's true. Yeah, and
'Cause
you
you
let
already-
the editor express himself because I feel
Yeah.
like editors
For
have,
sure.
It's just a lot of
Again,
There's a lot of
I
things that I
believe
wouldn't
in-
have thought of. They thought of.
Yeah.
You know?
Again, I believe in Scorsese's process, man. Scorsese, what he does is he says, I think even though everything's digital now and you can see everything immediately, I think there's still a need for dailies. You need to step away from the material,
to invest in
let
it.
somebody
Invest
else work
in
on
it.
it, and then come back
For
to it
sure.
with fresh
Sure.
eyes. And
Sure.
I really
Yeah.
do follow that.
and that's from Scorsese. So yeah,
That's from
That's true.
the master.
All right, so before we get to the trivia, man, what was you guys' reception? You know, your friends.
Yeah. Anybody comment on the film from your
Yeah,
circle?
man. What happened, man? Any criticism that you're like, what? Or any? Did they love
Your
your
friends,
character?
especially,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
both of
I
you
guess
have
you-
filmmaker friends
Uh-huh.
that I hope saw the film. I don't know
Oh,
if
yeah.
you did.
Were
But,
they-
you know.
was that you, Brandon?
People are just like, hey man, you're popping up in everything now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good thing.
It's cool to be exposing myself as a different kind of actor too. I had a hard time showing my mom that monologue.
Oh Lord, whoa!
Why?
It's
I love
it's
it.
just my mom, but my mom's like, she's still my mom. So I get
She,
her.
like,
Oh yeah.
she won't tell you the truth. Or what?
Oh no, she'll be like, God damn, Brandon. You know, she's got that real, you know,
Because she thinks you wrote it or something like.
no,
she
well, like my
it's
mom knows
your
how I
voice.
am too. I get my humor from her. She's just as sick as I am sometimes. We watch Mr. Pickles and shit on Adult Swim.
Really?
Oh yeah, she's great.
That was awesome.
Yeah, my mom's pretty cool. She's a cancer survivor 2-time.
Oh, hell
hey,
yeah.
man, that's awesome.
Hey,
Yeah.
shout out to
That's
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. My brother got a kick out of it too. He was over there chuckling. He doesn't talk much. He's like the silent Bob type. He's like, but even Skylar and Josh were like, they were really proud of me.
Nice.
Cool, man.
They got a kick out of it too. They love the intro. I remember Skylar was like, that
I
intro,
love
that
the
crane
intro,
shot.
Eric.
That crane shot really stood out to Skylar.
Crane shot. Cool, man.
So,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
man.
yeah, we were like, we need to get a
Don't
crane shot
Googles,
now.
man. If they ever need a crane.
Yeah, man.
They just want to use it.
Yeah, now we need
We've
a
been
crane
wanting
shot.
to use our crane for everything, dude.
I'll write some shit up. So
Yeah, we gotta
but,
use our drone too.
Cool.
It was really cool. I always love doing stuff. You know, snowball effect as well. It's always cool
We
to
gotta
show
have you.
off.
We're gonna have you back.
Yeah,
for
oh
that.
yeah.
We're gonna
I
have
can't
you
wait to
back.
talk
You
about
and
that
Jeremy.
one.
You and Jeremy. We'll have you guys back.
I
for
love
that, too.
Jeremy. He's wonderful.
Yeah.
He's a big teddy bear.
How about you,
Shout
Micah?
out to-
What's been your?
Well, when I showed everyone loved it. They started sharing it, especially
cool.
Frank. Frank
Yeah,
wanted to meet
yeah,
you guys,
yeah.
and I remember that one party I had. I was like, "Hey, man, you guys can like meet up here."
We
man.
went to
Yeah.
Micah's aunt's
Yeah, party,
birthday
yeah.
party, and that's how we met Frank Powers and started talking to him.
Yeah,
and got
and
to meet him.
Arturo Portillo as well. Like everyone loved it, and
Cool, man.
they actually wanted to know more about the story. It was like
good.
a cliffhanger.
Good.
And I remember even asking Eric, like, "Hey, so what's going on?" Like, and he was just like,
Good,
"Oh,
dude.
it's for
We're
later
just
on." Like,
interested.
damn it, like, what the fuck? Like, I want to know more about it, you know?
Yeah, that's everyone's question. Like, what's happening? What's after?
And
what
the
was
answer
that?
is you'll
Yeah.
see.
The answer is you'll never know.
Cool, man. What about you, Eric? Like your circle, your family, your friends, you get when you screened it?
Omar, who kicked you out of the house.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I've had people like I've seen comments like on YouTube like
Did you show it to your mom?
no.
Why?
they saw it, but like they're like, of
Yeah.
course, Eric. You know.
Yeah,
But
of course.
no, I've had good reviews on it. Like yeah, they'll
Yeah.
have criticism on it. Like for example, I don't understand the ending. Like that's
Yeah,
perfectly
yeah.
fine.
You,
like,
you'll have
Which
people
we
like that.
expected. Which
Yeah,
we
I
expected.
expected
We
it
expected
too.
that. We knew going in.
Yeah.
But no, it's been overall good reviews so far. They told me that someone, a friend of mine, told me, I think what I planned to do, which was I don't know what the word is, catch people's attention.
Good.
So
Yeah.
for what's next? For
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that
setting
was
up-
always the intention
yeah,
with this.
that was
one.
always the intention.
Always
Like,
the intention.
to like
It's a
set
good
you up for what's
starting,
next.
like,
So,
goal.
something
Yeah.
that everybody was telling me too. They're like, "That's it for now."
Good. Good. That's great.
That's
Then
cool.
we-
Yeah, man.
Wait,
We
10 more
accomplished
years,
that.
they'll get the second part.
Nah, man.
All right, let's
It's
jump
coming.
into the trivia,
We're going to
gentlemen.
Yes, sir. We're coming to the trip. You guys ready?
Boy, am
This
I.
is for the actors and the director.
This is for this at the end of every podcast. We like to end it on a nice like icebreaker. We could get some laughs out
I
and
think
stuff.
Micah can give us like a little beat like for the trivia.
You beatbox, bro?
You beatbox? Damn.
Today,
Or give us a little
You
like
gonna start spitting
jingle,
some
you know,
lines?
like,
5 seconds. 5 seconds.
like a full house. Ooh.
Yes, today in trivia. Number one question is, here we go.
I want to rap now. All right.
Hey,
Tower. Got the power.
Ooh.
Want it louder.
We don't do powder. I mean, I hope we don't.
speak for yourself.
Es harina.
Pick for yourself.
No harina.
Es harina.
All right, here we go. My first question. Let me just scroll around. Okay, here we go. Let me see. First one. Let's see what we know about slasher films. Right, y'all ready?
Listen,
Pinocchio.
guys on a hot seat.
How
Guillermo
many
del Toro's
Halloween movies
Pinocchio.
are there?
Dude, I'm a big Michael Myers fan. If you guys get this wrong, dude.
I know. I kind of know that.
Eric
Let's go
knows
by
this.
them. Halloween 1.
Yeah, man, you're a big Michael Myers fan?
Halloween 2. Halloween 3.
There's like
6?
12 of them.
12.
What?
Yeah.
12.
Micah says 6.
6.
Halloween?
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Halloween,
Oh, it's-
Resurrection, H2O.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
right.
because there's 6 of like
Resurrection.
six straight
Six
sequels.
canons.
But there's the remakes from the 90s with Jamie Lee Curtis coming back, which is H2O and then H2O2.
So how many?
I'm estimating like 12. I think. with
I
Rob
think this one's
Zombies.
wrong.
I'm
now
saying
that I'm
8.
thinking about it, but this where I got it from. Apparently, there's 9.
Oh, that's
That's close
That's
enough.
close
The
enough.
first
Yeah.
four, the
Okay.
first
Because
four.
I'm counting the new one that came
Because I
out.
forgot that Rob Zombie made a.
Yeah, he made
the
2.
The first 4. Halloween H2O Resurrection. That's 6. And then you got the
7,
2
8,
of Rob Zombie. And then the new one with Michael
Jim-
Bright or whatever.
Yeah, with Jamie Lee Curtis coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So was that 9? Yeah, right. 8, 9.
that sounds about right.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's go with that.
Everybody gets a point on that one.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. What film has the written lines, all work, no pay, makes Jack a dull boy?
Oh, that's easy. That's Shining, man.
The Shining.
Classic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here's Johnny.
All right, here we go. Now, we mentioned his name, and I know you're a big fan, so. What John Carpenter film follows a man's discovery that the world is controlled by aliens with the use of special sunglasses?
yeah.
Oh, shit, I don't know.
What?
This is my favorite
that
John
one's
Carpenter
Think
film.
about it.
You want to shoot it?
Should have
Give me
guessed.
your guess. Give me your
Shit,
guess.
shit.
It's fine. It's fine.
Give
I
me a
won't
trivia of 3. Between 3.
Let's see. It's 80s.
We both know this one.
Yeah? That's my favorite film. I love that film.
80s?
Yeah. I have come here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum. Yeah.
Help him out, Brendan.
Yes.
Oh my
WWE,
God.
right?
It seems like you
Right?
know it, Brendan.
They live.
They live. Yes, sir.
Carpenter's my favorite.
I love that
Very
movie, man.
good
I
movie.
really do
Boy.
love that movie.
Nerd.
That long fight scene with the other dude.
Man, it's one of the best fights
Yes,
ever.
that is a good fight scene.
They're
Yes.
nerds.
It just
They're nerds.
keeps
They're
going
going at
and
it,
going.
yeah,
Like,
like-
what the fuck?
I love that dude. All right, here we go. Going back to Halloween real quick.
Okay.
What was the Mike Myers mask original? What was the mold originally for?
Oh,
For the
easy.
Mike Myers
Easy. I
mask?
know it. I know
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Do you know that one?
You know that?
This is
Oh, you want to
interesting.
guess who,
This is
whose
interesting.
face
This is
it
interesting.
is?
Yes, he was in Star Trek.
Star Trek?
Yeah.
The original.
Think about the
He,
mask. Think about the Mike Myers
about the
mask,
mask.
and
Who
think
does he
who
look like?
looks like that.
It's not that Captain, is it?
It is, yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
Captain?
Captain Kirk. It was a Captain
Captain
Kirk
Kirk.
mask. Yeah.
Retrofitted Captain.
It's
Kirk.
weird, huh?
That's crazy,
really
huh?
weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Painted white and.
No, let's be honest. It's Mariah Carey.
It is Mariah
You
Carey.
guys have seen the memes, right? Like,
Yeah.
dude, like once you see it, you can't unsee it. Michael
That they
Myers
look like
is
Michael
Mariah
Myers? Oh, really? Oh, I gotta
Yeah.
look that up. Okay, here we go. Another John Carpenter one.
Number 4.
How many iterations of the Thing are there?
Oh, that's
Ooh.
easy too.
Man.
There's 3.
3? Can you name them?
The Thing from Another World.
The original. The
original.
From the 40s,
I
right?
didn't know
Yes.
Mhm.
And then there's The Thing.
The Thing. Masterful movie.
And then Thing.
The
Or
shitty remake or reboot.
the prequel reboot.
The prequel
I
reboot.
wouldn't say it's shitty.
Yeah, no,
yeah, it was actually
Ah.
The
pretty good.
studio boned them when they decided to do CG instead
Yeah.
of practical.
Instead of
They
practical.
fucked them over
From what
pretty
I heard,
bad.
it was
They
like
had
they
it.
had practical.
They had it.
They
and
did.
then they just
Amazing.
glossed over
and they
it.
do have shots, and it looks
Yeah,
amazing.
they shot some
Really?
with practical effects, and it's
Yeah.
based on the book. Who goes there?
True.
Oh.
That one is more line. I guess I gotta watch it again. But that has the girl who played.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yes, dude, she's my crush. I'm not gonna lie.
She's
She-
great.
It's
what
not
was
gonna
it?
happen, dude.
I know. I'm ugly.
The Huntress.
Here we go. What classic Universal horror film was filmed twice? Once with American actors and a second time with Mexican actors. Same location though. Same sets, same costumes. Ooh, does Michael De La O know this?
You know this?
Scene.
Okay, wait. Okay, now we can hear me.
Go for it.
Dracula?
Yes, it was Dracula. That's
Really?
yeah, man. That's always blown my mind. And apparently,
Wow.
actually Alamo. I almost they showed the Spanish version of Dracula earlier this year during Halloween. They did. I was gonna go see it. They did. And yeah, but apparently, like a lot of people say that version's just better. But I think it's because it sounds romantic, right? I mean, you know, Spanish
Espanol,
language. Espanol,
yeah.
yeah. But I mean, I love Bela
I didn't know
Lugosi.
that.
I don't know,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, that's a
I would
that's a
love to
cool
see
film.
that.
All right, here we go. What is Steven Spielberg's most known horror film? Well, the only one he really got,
Easy.
but easy. E.T. is a horror film. That's
Not a
scary,
horror
man.
film.
Do you know it?
Yes. Did you see
I'm
Chucky?
stumped
Horror
there.
film. Yeah, that's a horror
What?
film.
Do you
I'm
do you,
drawing-
do you,
I'm
do you have a
90s,
guess?
2000s.
I know it too.
I'm trying to.
I can throw a quote.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
well,
here.
Oh yeah. Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Poltergeist.
Yeah, I
Poltergeist.
forget.
Yep.
Kathleen
Poltergeist.
Kennedy produced that.
Really?
That was her first. First
Oh
produced
wow.
movie.
Yeah. She also produced Back to the Future and
Yep.
stuff. Yeah. I like her, man.
I love her.
I love her too.
Me too.
Yeah.
You know what? I was always close to saying Jaws because that's also considered
Yeah.
a horror.
Jurassic Park's kind of a.
It's kind of a horror too.
Out of here, guys.
It is
There's
a
scary
horror.
dinosaurs,
You know
man.
there's no dinosaurs. Okay,
Like-
so how can you get
Stop it.
I didn't want to fess up to it, but I was going to say Jaws, and I was like, I know it. It's Jaws. And then you're like, oh, Poltergeist. I'm like,
Oh, you know what? I guess Jaws is kind of a horror film too, right? Yeah, that's
It
true.
is.
It's got a theme
sharks
song.
are fucking scary.
Oh wait.
Short dinosaur.
Fucking dinosaurs are scary as fuck. That
Yeah.
T-Rex scene? Fuck that.
Hell yeah.
man.
The goat leg?
That's true. You know what? Steven Spielberg is kind. You're right.
Fuck yeah.
You're
Like
right.
that
About
kitchen scene? That
Steven
was
Spielberg does have some
nerve-wracking.
horror stuff. Yeah, you're right.
Horror elements.
Here we go. What renowned actor in The Godfather did not have his lines memorized at all?
Oh, that's easy.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Was it Marlon Brandon?
It was
Yeah,
Marlon Brando.
Brando.
Oh,
Isn't that
why
crazy?
was I going to say Martin Landau? He wasn't in
Landau.
Godfather.
You think that only happens to
Brando.
indie filmmakers? But imagine being Francis Ford Coppola and you're like, go.
He did the same thing in Apocalypse Now too.
Did it
Yeah.
really? You
Yeah.
didn't have his memorized?
And in Superman, they wrote his lines on a baby's diaper.
Oh
when he was
my
holding-
gosh.
Yeah.
You are just going downhill.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Marlon Brando was just hard to
He
work
was a
with.
bomb.
Here's a cool one. Which actor has the odd honor to be killed by a Terminator, an alien, and a Predator? Ooh.
Michael Biehn.
Bill Paxton.
Oh yeah,
From Twister.
That's
From
right.
Twisted.
Yeah, that's right.
He passed away a few years ago. Yes.
Yeah.
He comes out of the Western vampire
Yeah.
movie, too.
Near Dark.
A lot of these at this
Yeah.
point are for Brandon because I know he's a big like Lucas guy.
Oh,
So
he's getting him.
all right, here we go.
Knock
So
him out of the park,
what?
man.
This is more of a fun fact, but I had to word this really weird. So what film did Harrison Ford and Sean Connery star in which they had to take off their pants in order to film a scene in a very hot set?
I know that movie. Steven
it's
Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg. Yeah.
I don't know this one.
Harrison Ford and Sean Connery.
It's Indiana Jones and
The Last
Oh yeah,
Crusade.
it's yeah.
So yeah, this is just okay. Look, this wasn't even a trick. That I just looked because I read it and I was
didn't
like,
know about that though.
apparently when they were
Yeah.
filming the blimp scene, the Zeppelin scene,
Uh-huh.
like it was really hot in that little set, so they had to take off their pants.
Okay.
So next time you watch that movie,
That's my least watched one. That's why
I
I,
like
even know.
it.
I love it
It's a little
too.
different.
I
It's a
just
little different.
yeah. I'm already naked.
All right, here we go. Okay, that's a fun fact, but this is the
Interesting.
this one.
That was cool.
What was the what was the what was the fact? What the heck did I write here, man?
What was the trivia question?
Oh, here we go. What was the fake line used to hide the iconic "No, I am your father" during the filming of The Empire Strikes Back? So they used a fake. So they gave the script to all the actors. The only two people who knew what was up was not even David Prowse, who was in the Darth Vader suit. It was just Luke and Lucas, and I think the director,
I'm gonna be
Irvin
disappointed
Kershner.
in you if you don't.
They used they
man.
Darth Vader said something else on set,
Yeah.
which was also as shocking.
I don't know this one.
I
guess.
think I know. it.
I think I've heard it once.
I like to double dip. Was that the?
It was that. Yeah.
Oh,
How did
okay,
you know?
yeah.
Nah, I'm joking.
Nice.
Luke, I like to double dip. Anybody know it?
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
Shame
yeah.
on
So
me.
it was the line was no, like you killed my father. It's like no, Obi-Wan killed your father.
right.
Yes, yes, yes. And I thought that was kind of
Oh,
cool.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Next question. During the filming of Back to the Future, what show was Michael J. Fox a part of that caused him to commute back and forth for day and night shoots? This one's for you.
Family
Mm-hmm. You got it.
Because
You
they
got
had
it.
some other
You
guy.
got it. You got it.
Matters? No. Family Ties.
Family Ties,
Yeah.
yep.
And he slept on a truck back and forth.
Yes,
set to
dude.
set.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a edit. Can I plug
Yeah.
something? Okay, I have a thing called Mixtape 1138. I base it off around like film stories and stuff. There's one for Michael J. Fox on that one. It's day and night. So I
Yeah.
always like to picture that. That's how he was like.
Yeah. That's
his
where a
mentality was.
lot of the scenes in Back to the Future is at night.
And if you, it's really interesting. And then if you watch like Back to the Future, like the ending, you could just see how he's like,
He's exhausted.
he's exhausted. Yeah, you
Yeah.
think it's.
Hey, but it worked for the
It
film.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really
Because
worked.
Eric
it really
Eric
worked.
Stoltz was supposed to be Marty.
The
and then he
original
got
Marty
fired.
McFly.
They were
Apparently he was an
they
asshole.
were 2 weeks into production.
Apparently he
Well,
was really
Bob
method.
Bob Zemeckis just didn't feel him, man.
He was
too
just
tough guy,
regretted it.
apparently.
He just
I think he took it too
regretted
serious. Is from
Yeah,
what, from
yeah, it
what
was
I
too serious, and Marty was
Yeah.
supposed to be playful, and he was replaced after 2 weeks.
Yeah, más alivianado and shit.
I know that he was always sought after, though. Originally, it was Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
It wasn't until they convinced the producers of Family
Yep.
Ties.
That's crazy. So that goes to show you that refilming isn't a bad thing,
Yeah.
unless you're
It's
filming
not.
6 different endings for like the last, the Rise of Skywalker. But you know, whatever. We'll see how that goes. All right, here's my last one. What film did George Lucas channel out his anger and distraught over his current divorce at the time? Which film helped him cope?
The Phantom Menace.
He says that there's a one film that he helped. Well, he produced it, but
Is it Howard the Duck?
oh my gosh, I wish that'd be funny.
Indiana
He
Jones.
did that one too. That's right.
There's one
Indiana
film I would
Jones?
say it's his darkest film
Oh,
that he produced.
I was about to say Indiana Jones, but
Which one?
Clone Wars.
If you want.
Temple of Doom.
It was Temple of Doom.
Okay, yeah.
That one's the most.
Yeah, that's the
because
one.
think about it. Poor George Lucas got his heart ripped out.
Yeah.
So he put that on film. Divorce papers. Lawyer.
Poor George.
Thank goodness he got divorced before he became a billionaire. Cause
I know, man. Yeah. Well, he wasn't a billionaire by that point.
no.
Man, that's
He became a
crazy.
billionaire.
I always
with-
like pictured
with
him.
the
He just
sale
became
of
a
Star Wars to
He
Disney.
might have been a millionaire because
Yeah, it was definitely a millionaire, man. For
Yeah,
sure. But
definitely.
there was him selling Star Wars to Disney that made him a billionaire.
Oh wow, you're right.
Well, selling Lucasfilm.
Pussy.
what, like 4.5 billion, I think.
Something like
Something
that.
It's a lot of
That-
money.
That's a lot of money.
Hey George, if you're out there and you're listening, we're indie filmmakers from El Paso, Texas.
Please.
love you,
We
George.
need money.
I'm from
Character
Modesto.
spare some change.
I'm writing a sci-fi, George.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
All right.
That's it, man. Those are my questions. You guys did kick ass.
Thank
as
you
always.
guys,
That was
man,
fun.
for showing
All
up.
y'all
being-
will be smoking my questions, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
definitely.
Do you guys have anything you guys want to plug in before
Anything
we take
else?
off?
No, just thank you for the invite, man. Thank you guys.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
man.
thank you
It's
for
good
coming,
to
dude.
reunite
Yeah,
and talk
you
about
guys.
it.
It was awesome.
I really liked your performance, dude. It was cool. It was cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really did. I really did.
I can't wait to come back.
Please do.
Thank you
Brandon-
guys.
Brandon will
Yeah.
be back
Back for
for
Snowball
2
Effect.
episodes.
I'll be back for
at least
sure.
2 more episodes.
Yeah,
For
sweet.
Snowball
Snowball
and for the
Effect.
tram.
I'll be ready.
maybe?
Yeah, I'll be here as long as I'm invited.
Cool deal.
All right, we got Carlos in the back. Thank you, De La O. Thank you for keeping us, Chris. Austin Young, triple threat over there. Appreciate it.
Eric, anything else? Anything you want to
Eric.
tease?
Besides
Your haircut? Yeah.
I'm cutting my hair.
Don't cut your hair,
Shaving
please.
my head.
Do not cut your hair. Your fan was blowing it, dude. I was getting mesmerized. So I'd be like, oh, no,
I know.
Hey, do you want to do any plugins? Did you do any plugins? Where to find you? Instagram, Facebook,
I have an Instagram and a Facebook.
right here.
Follow Tower.
Yeah, follow Tower.
Tower
too.
Proud Eric. No, I'm kidding. We haven't convinced him to change his name yet.
No. Don't follow me.
Real quick.
I'm
Before.
gonna put just the little Instagram logo and say, "Don't follow him."
Don't follow
he's
with
gonna do
the
it.
at Eric's.
No, real quick. Also, a quick shout out to another film podcast that Carlos is a big.
Yes.
Oh
frequent
yeah, for
visitor
sure.
of. It's Movies Mayhem Soap,
Check it out.
and
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard they shouted us out. So this is me just sending love back.
Yeah,
to
and this is
them.
Carlos
Thank
too. So
you.
you got to check that out.
We
too.
love
It's
you.
gonna be in the next
man.
episode
so
too.
Movies Mayhem they do a lot of movie reviews. I've been honored to be on 3 or 4 episodes at this point.
Nice.
So the last episode, the episode that's out right now, is a full review on The Irishman, and we talk about The Irishman.
Cool.
Sweet.
Oscar and Chris and George over at Beak and Claws podcast. They do Movies Mayhem Soap, among other podcasts. And the next episode, which comes out next Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, is Scorsese retrospective.
Nice.
So we talk about our favorite Scorsese films, and just on
That must be a really long podcast. I would
we,
assume.
we
Yeah,
recorded.
definitely.
Fun fact:
Yeah.
we recorded the podcast the same day, and we split it in 2.
That's awesome.
That's what it happened. So yeah, check that out. Movies Mayhem Soap. They're really cool guys, man. They're awesome film buffs, and so
check them out for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think that wraps everything up, you guys. As always, you're always welcome to visit us at Tower Prod on Instagram, as well as our Facebook page.
Absolutely.
We even have a Snapchat. I mean, come on now. So
We
you
do?
you know who we are, and we'll know who you are eventually. Come up to us with scripts. Hit us up. My name is Juan Paul Flores Vasquez.
I'm John Eric Castro
And-
and Austin Young back there.
Everybody, the whole crew at Tower, we want to thank y'all. Keep writing your scripts. It's a good idea. We need your ideas. I mean, look at what Hollywood's doing. Just a bunch of sequels at this point. So you need to
Yep.
bring up
It's
that
fucking
new
sad.
franchise so that we could just do this whole thing all over again.
Let's do it.
You know what I
Keep it
mean?
going.
We're just going to keep it going as always. Thank you guys so much. Write, shoot, edit, repeat. Good night.